I think the neodymium technology has made a huge difference in the industry. And they have lower weight and higher power. Therefore, they're allowed to have a higher dynamic response. That's been quite successful. There have been other technologies like flat PCB speakers. They have their niches, but I think the neodymium is the main driver of innovation in the audio space over the past 10 years.
And so what is the expectation on the engineering side? Are you helping your clients to actually design and even help out with the analog engineering?
Usually what happens is that customers come up with an idea or a base circuitry, and then we come to the reality of available components. Mm-hmm. And all components, whether it's especially analog components, they all have their limitations. And their limitations, depending on how they're used in the circuitry, will relate to effects. And then we have to circumvent those effects. And that's not so easy.
So once again, it's kind of about compromising in the right places based on your customers' goals.
Yeah, correct.
So you touched up on this a little bit, but what are some of the other unique challenges that engineers face when designing special audio applications?
Yeah, I would say huge expectations, low quantity, and questionable availability of components.
Now I imagine that when you're going to outfit a stadium with speakers and the budgeting team gets together, I don't imagine they're trying to buy something very, very cheap. I think that these people must consider how unique this project is and have a certain budget that makes it feasible. Or do you find that this is also a conflict?
Well, the problem is the buying part is the easy part. The maintaining part is the more challenging part.
Maintaining the stadium speakers?
Yeah, because you have weather import, people will have different results, some vandalism, some fans will damage certain things, wires are taken out of the walls, you have renovation projects that is impacting the system. You need to work with a partner that is not just there to install it you the first time. You need partners that are able to fix your system during the course of the next 20 years. And these people have the same problem as like the analog engineers. That's not an easy skill. And you need to have, these partners need to have the skill, and they need to have the sales to retain those talents that have the skills.
And currently, what are the solutions? And it's typically, like, let's say in Germany, what are the solutions for maintaining the special audio?
You usually have players, franchise partners, which are very skilled people with small teams, where they do the installation and the teamwork, they team together with some local electricians to make it work. These people earn decent money, but they have to take responsibility for the whole thing. But on the other side, the stadium has no incentive to get this guy killed, because then they have a bigger problem than he has. So it's often some local heroes that play the game, that play the system integrator role together with maybe it's the planning company that makes the big plan, but then actually installing it, running it, maintaining it. That's great opportunity for small business with good skill.
Okay, I'll think about that. Maybe my side hustle.
Yeah. It's not going to stay a side hustle if you go into that.
So I imagine durability, because maintenance is such a pain. Finding a durable solution must be a priority for your clients, something that lasts.
Yes.
What is it about the construction of the special audio that allows for durability? What are the parts that fail and that need to be paid attention to?
When it comes to speakers, that one of the key elements is to build in protection circuits which prevent overload to the speaker. That's relatively easy on active speakers. It's not so easy on passive speakers. That's one of the elements. The second one is you need to understand whether your speaker is designed for outdoor or indoor. Water can be nasty. Salt water, even nastier. Dirt is also not great. So that's when it comes to speaker. So there's because you have the challenge that you want to have air to go in and out, but you don't want water to go in and out. And you have a vibrating system, and you want to keep it tight for a long time. And you want to be able to put it in boxes and open it and put it back and open it, transport it. It's on a truck. It runs over potholes.
Yeah, so
That's not easy. So there are a lot of mechanical engineers that are really focused on solving all these little problems, especially when you go on a festival. I mean,
yeah,
it can be quite rainy. The area where people camp is not necessarily dry and flat. Um, it's
yeah,
a rough environment.
yeah. As soon as you're dealing with the elements, the rain, the humidity, the salty air, yeah, it doesn't play
Seaside
well.
locations, no,
Yeah,
it's not easy. Yeah, but that's also good news because at least some equipment fails eventually and needs to be replaced. So that's why, again, coming back to the analog engineer, there's a good chance that it's good for a career.
yeah. I do have a friend here in Taiwan, and he makes speakers, high-end audio speakers for DJs. And I remember he showed them to me, and the speakers are in these panels that are about that wide, and then they're sort of flat. And so I hadn't seen this before because I remember my speakers back home, they're always in these boxes and they're heavy. But this guy had found a way to make them very flat and still very powerful. So I'm curious, what innovations have you seen in the last, let's say, year, 5 years, that's changing the game in special acoustics?
Well, I mean, to have a column design is not uncommon. It's been used for a long time because a column has the ability to give directionality because of the way the waves are forming. But I think the neodymium technology has made a huge difference in the industry. Since about 10 years, we use more and more neodymium magnets, and they have lower weight and higher power. And therefore, they allow to have a higher dynamic response. That's been quite successful. There have been other technologies like flat PCB speakers, ribbon speakers. They have their niches, but I think the neodymium is the main driver of innovation in the audio space over the past 10 years.
So everything could be smaller, lighter, cheaper?
Yes, not necessarily cheaper because neodymium is not cheap, but
Yeah,
it becomes smaller and lighter.
right.